right, everybody have a seat. Welcome to the White House. Let's give it up for this quiet, reserved bunch called the Seattle Seahawks.
And now it's time for another edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. With your host, the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam, and welcome one and all for another special off-season, end-of-school May edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. I'm your host for the program, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity, and thank you so much for making us part of your Seahawk off-season fix as we discuss the off-season for your Super Bowl 48 champion Seattle Seahawks. So sit back, grab a desired beverage or sin of your choice, and remember, the graduates of today are the unemployed of tomorrow. We have so much to discuss on this program for you, and luckily, as always, I'm never alone. No, the 12th Man Fan Jam posse is here from literally around the world to light our way along the festivities with some knowledge from the University of the 12th Man. First, my partner in crime, the yin to my yang. He graduated with a degree in hedonism and debauchery. You know him as Suffolk Blue on SeahawkBlue.com. We know him as Matt from England.
Hello, good morning from merry old England. How are you?
Good, Matt. How are you doing?
I've just come back off holiday after my winning of the becoming draft guru again for the defending my champion. So I decided to take a week off and I went to Spain for a week. So it was very nice. Thank you.
You celebrated, but did you celebrate too hard? We'll find out at halftime.
Well, I thought I was supposed to be getting a free trip to Vegas off Will, but you can ask him in a second where it is.
Yeah, well, let's bring that up. Our second member of our posse, of course, is our news hound. He's here to keep us all updated in news during the offseason. He's a Masters of Seahawk with a minor in NFL. Known as Shadow Hawk, we know him as Will.
I owe my degrees to Wikipedia, Red Bull, and vodka.
The perfect winning combination for any college graduate.
I thought so.
Yeah, so what's the story with this Vegas trip you promised last week?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was going to pay for Matt to go to Vegas, but then I decided I'd take that money and adopt a cat.
And yeah, you did, yes.
He did.
April, correct?
No, it's May.
Big furry puffball of a cat. Runs all over the place and complete handful, but I think it'll work.
I think it'll work out just fine. Congratulations.
Lovely. Nice.
Yes, good news. Matt went on a trip, Will got a cat, and me, I got nothing. You know,
nothing.
That's it. You know, for my last day, I'm officially unemployed for 8 weeks as a teacher. My last day of school was today. I'm very happy about that. So yeah, at least I'll have a whole summer to think about it. But let's not spend 8 weeks talking about that. We know you're interested in getting into this graduation, end of school, May edition show. So let's run over how this show is formatted. The 12th Man Fan Jam show is divided into 4 quarters, just like a real NFL football game. In the first quarter, we will do news with Will. In the second quarter, we're going to do Seahawk news and a very special edition of a news feature we like to call Headlines and Punchlines. I think you're going to enjoy this evening's headlines and punchlines, I can tell. Halftime for the third straight show, we are going to do a trivia competition between Will and Matt. And one of these days, Will, it will happen.
I'm going to let him.
Oh, that's so they tell me.
Matt is the defending two-time trivia champion.
I'm going to pretend that I know nothing about the Seahawks just so that he can win.
Well, you make it your wish tonight.
Yeah, right.
So we'll have to see. Seahawk trivia is not draft trivia. It's Seahawk trivia. It's about the team. That's all I'm telling you. Because you'll run off and Google everything, and I don't want you to do that. And you can play along with us if you're watching and listening to the show. You can play along with us. We put the questions and the multiple choice answers up on the screen along with the answers. So at halftime, you can play along with us as well. And we'd love to hear how you do or what you thought of the questions. I know Matt had quite opinions about the questions last week. Matt, what were your thoughts on the questions last week?
They were, well, I did win overall, so I can't moan too much about the questions, but I just think that...
but he will anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I will anyway. How anyone would know any of the colleges of particular musicians of your country is beyond me. And
I'm
you
just
didn't know
shocked.
them anyway.
I'm still shocked you don't know who George Clinton was, but you know, you just don't get the funk, I guess. In England, you don't
Not
get
over
funk.
here.
Is there funk in England?
We filter that out and send that to France.
Well, see if you were in
Wrong
France.
kind of funk.
If you were, yeah, really, if you were in France, you would be okay.
Please do a French accent for me, Dennis.
Did I say that right? France? France? Is that how you pronounce that word? It's your
France.
language. So
Oh,
you tell
no.
me.
Oui, la France.
Yeah.
Vive
Oh.
la France.
All right, where was I?
Moses,
Oh,
the accent thing just doesn't work for you. I'm sorry.
no,
Stop it.
no, and of course we got another guy with a French name at draft day. So, third quarter and fourth quarter are kind of the same thing. The third quarter we're going to play a deluxe version of There Can Be Only One. I've asked the posse to pick one player that is on an NFL team that's not the Seahawks, and one former NFL player to place on this Super Bowl winning team. So there can only be one. That'll be third quarter and fourth quarter. The third quarter will be offense, and we'll add someone to the offensive roster that we feel would make them maybe 16-0 instead of 13-3. Who knows? In the fourth quarter, we'll do the same thing, only we'll do it for defense. There can only be one on offense and one on defense. And again, you can kind of play along with that as well. You can also send us emails to let us know what you think of the show. Say hi, you like us, you hate us, whatever. We're not too proud to beg. You play along with the trivia questions. If you have trivia questions you'd like to send us and hear these guys and see if they know, they don't get to look at the questions before the show at halftime, so you can send them to me at that 12th man fan jam gmail.com. And I can hit him up with trivia questions, or if you have anything you want to share with us. Be sure to check out also on YouTube, on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. We've done a couple best of videos from last season. They're about 4 or 5 minutes long. One's about 8 or 9 minutes long. They're pretty good. It's kind of bits and pieces of the what I think are the best bits of our show, the funniest bits. We got more coming on the way. Highlights set to campy music, so you'll love that. And if you're listening for the first time, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, you taking a chance to waste some time of this preseason with us. So let's get right to it. Enough of that. Let's talk about what we need to talk about and get started with our news. Yes, news to keep you informed of the NFL while you're too busy looking for that perfect graduation gift for your nephew. It is Will Shadowhawk, the newsman. Will, what you got for us this evening?
Well, Moses, Calvin Johnson has had been in the NFL for 7 years and has not gotten in trouble before, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
And technically, he's not in trouble now, but he's kind of mixed up in some. It seems that last weekend, Johnson went to go visit his child and decided to bring along his girlfriend, who is also the Detroit Lions manager of partner activation, which I have no idea what that means.
That's like double secret probation, but go ahead.
It must be, but
Wait, can you
apparently
say that
things
again?
did not
Wait,
go well.
Can you say that for me again? What's the title?
Manager of partner activation.
That's awesome. I want that job. Go ahead.
Well, apparently things did not go well between Calvin Johnson's girlfriend and the mother of Calvin Johnson's child. The two started screaming at each other, nearly became violent, and Johnson's girlfriend allegedly leapt from the car screaming that she was going to, quote, mollywop yo ass, unquote.
Girl angry.
Mollywop.
Now, Moses, I'm not a huge fan of Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk, but he had the genius idea of going to UrbanDictionary.com for the definition of mollywop, which is, quote, to reach way back with your pimp hand, damn near knocking oneself off balance, to deliver a massive blow with an inside closed fist to the temple of your hoe or foe.
What the hell is my pimp hand?
Which one? Where's your pimp hand?
Which one's my pimp
You gotta
hand?
keep it strong.
Take the strong hand, child. How many A's was in that way back?
That had only about 3. I was kind of disappointed.
And it's versatile because you can hit your hoe or your foe.
I love the fact it's complete equality there. It's got like complete equality in that whole description.
I'm gonna mollywop your ass. That needs to be on a shirt somewhere. Mollywop.
It wouldn't surprise me if it already is.
It probably
yeah.
is. Mollywop. Holy cow, I love that.
That's a new one. Let me write that down.
I'm gonna mollywop your ass.
We'll use that on Monday. Marvelous.
Poor Calvin.
You'd have a lot of luck.
Well, whose bright idea was it to bring his girlfriend to go see the mother of his child? You gotta believe there's a potential for conflict there.
Point taken. Point taken. That's just very true. God, I guess you don't want to get mollywopped. Mollywop kind of sounds kind of attractive. Hey, did you get mollywopped last night? Oh, dude, I got so mollywopped. Oh, my God. My head was spinning.
But I can't find my car.
Man, I got so mollywopped last night. I woke up, I didn't know where I was.
See, the great thing is, and again, only English people will get this, but molly means something completely different in England. So it actually means sort of a gay man.
That just makes it all so much better.
That makes it.
You'd have buildings like molly houses, which were basically prostitute dens, but were full of men rather than women. So molly houses. So yeah, if you're getting mollywopped, Dennis, I don't ever want to hear you saying you're getting mollywopped again.
Oh, I'm going to use it all the time. Mollywopped.
I'm going to get mollywopped.
You're going to get mollywopped. Get back. Hey, Mosaic, get back in here. You're going to get mollywopped.
It's going to mollywop you, girl.
Oh, my God. With my pimp hand.
Don't make me hit you with my pimp hand now.
Oh, my God. Dude, I don't know how you can possibly top that.
Always going to.
Well, I'll do my best, and actually this next item involves somebody that I think most people would like to mollywop, Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Donald Trump has confirmed that he is going to put in a bid to buy the Buffalo Bills after the passing of Ralph Wilson. So we could potentially have Donald Trump as NFL owner.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Now Trump has sold off all of his gambling interests. However, if you do recall, he was one of the owners of the USFL that filed a lawsuit against the NFL back in the 1980s. And some of those owners are still around, and you got to figure they might be holding a grudge. So we can only hope that they turn to Trump and say, "You're fired."
Do we know what team he owned in the USFL? And I hate to put you on the spot.
I want to say the New Jersey Generals, but I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. New Jersey Generals, and they would score a touchdown, and they would spin the ball. Herschel Walker was on that team. And they would spin the ball. I forget who would do it. Someone would score a touchdown with the Generals, and he would spin the ball, and they'd all point at it. That was like their big touchdown dance.
Needs work.
Yes. But I think Brian Sipe was a New Jersey General.
It's funny because the USFL was not really before my time, but I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it. So every once in a while, you hear talk about this player, and it's like, oh, yeah, so-and-so was in the USFL. I was like, really?
Steve Young was in the USFL, I believe. Wasn't he?
Steve Young was, and like you said, Herschel Walker and Jim Kelly was.
Yes, Jim Kelly was. Yeah, he sure was. So Trump's going to own the Bills. And ironically, Trump will own the Bills because I'm sure he pays his bills. But unlike the rest of us. Pays his bills. It's a money joke.
Got it.
All right. Yeah.
Any minute now, I'll start laughing, I promise.
Okay. All right. God, can you imagine that hair out in Buffalo in December?
That would make a great new design for a helmet.
It would, wouldn't
it? They could all have like toupees on top.
Well, and they're talking about redesigning helmets to work for concussions. I mean, there may be something to this here.
Get Trump's hair in there.
Bloody toupee.
Man.
Oh,
either that or it'll freeze solid and break right off. One of the two.
Yeah. That would be more fun to watch. Between him and remember Jimmy Johnson used to have that hair too. Both of them, they need their haircut. Well, what else you got besides haircutting Donald Trump and molly-whopping asses?
Well, the city that some thought the Bills could relocate to, Los Angeles, has not had an NFL team in nearly 20 years, and it's starting to look like they're never going to get one. Los Angeles City Councilman Bernard Parks told, who was this here? Tim Graham of the Buffalo News, quote, I've finally personally come to a conclusion. I have to resign myself to the fact that the NFL is not coming. After you put 10 years into something with nothing in return, if this was a marriage, you'd be divorced.
Oh,
So, but
that's
yeah,
really
it
sad.
really doesn't look like the NFL will be back in LA anytime soon. And frankly, that's fine with me.
Oh, but that depresses me because that means almost certainly that they're going to try and do a proper franchise in London. Because my big hope was that they were going to go for LA first. Oh.
Well, I think the one team that really has a shot at relocating to LA is the Rams, which would work great for Seattle.
I would slow clap them out there as well.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Will you read what he said again?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Los Angeles City Councilman Bernard Parks told Tim Graham of the Buffalo News, I've finally personally come to a conclusion. I have to resign myself to the fact that the NFL is not coming. After you put 10 years into something with nothing in return, if this was a marriage, you'd be divorced.
Well, the state of traditional marriage in the US today.
Mollywop somebody because of that. My God. There is no God.
Did you like my rendition? I tried to channel my inner William Shatner.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Good man.
It was
all
very
you
very
needed
soulful.
to do, all you needed was to shout Khan at the end really loudly and just stare into space. That would have been perfect.
You want to do it again?
Yeah. Well, I'll remember that for the next time.
Okay. The kid. I know one thing. The kids are here, and the kids dug it.
Yay!
Yay! Kids dug
thanks,
it.
Kids.
The kids loved it, and they loved the news. Thank you, Will, for mollywopping our ass tonight and giving us Donald Trump and the Bills and a really sad poor soul in L.A. God, I don't know if we can move on.
Anytime, Moses. That's what I'm here for.
I just got your Bills joke.
Okay, well.
Oh dear.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Oh look, it's the end of the first quarter. How perfect is that? We'll take a real brief break here. I will mollywop Matt's butt, and we'll come back at the start of the second quarter after this.
You're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
We are here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate the first Super Bowl victory for the city of Seattle. He's not here today, but we got to give props to Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch. I am sorry that Marshawn's not here because I just wanted to say how much I admire his approach to the press. I wanted to get some tips from him. It's about the action.
And now it's time for the second quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. Here to take you through the second quarter is once again our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam, and welcome back to the second quarter of this very special May edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. We hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I hope no one's getting mollywopped out there while they're listening to the show. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the Seahawk St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. Mollywopping has got me all confused tonight. The second quarter, we're going to talk about Seahawk news, and we do have some things to talk about. And at the end of this quarter, we're going to do something very special. We did it last week, and it was kind of a hit, kind of. We took a headline, and we gave our favorite punchlines to that headline. Yeah, it was kind of a medium hit. So tonight we're going to take our stab at a special headline, a special feature we like to call headlines and punchlines. So at the end of this quarter, you're going to listen to that. But a couple things have happened in Seahawk world this past week or so, and we'll start with the re-signing of Angry Doug Baldwin, a 3-year deal, $13 million, signed on the dotted line. He was at OTAs, even though he wasn't under a deal. He is, to me, I said this, and this is where I'll start the conversation. My favorite Seahawk has always been Michael Robinson, and it looks like Michael is probably, in all likelihood, his days are through in Seattle. We've got a really good fullback, and I'm afraid he's not going to be there. This guy's my new favorite Seahawk. There's no doubt about it. The guy is class, and he's anything but pedestrian. And very happy about the 3-year deal. Matt, you probably didn't hear about the 3-year deal because you were kind of on vacation.
I was, absolutely.
Yeah, but signing Baldwin to a 3-year deal, what do you think that does to the Seahawks?
Well, it just shows you that players want to stay with this team. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Doug Baldwin has been honest, if nothing but honest, throughout the whole of this process. He said he wasn't going to hang around. He's not going to hold out for anything. He was going to get a deal if he was going to get a deal. He knew he was going to stay in Seattle. Originally, I sort of, when they put him on a second round, was it a second round waiver? Was that what they put him on?
Yeah, second round tender.
Yeah, tender. Sorry. When they put him on, I thought, well, that what signal does that send to him as a player? But Doug just seems to take these sort of things and lap them up and use them as more reason to outperform everyone else. And to coin a phrase that's used by Chuck of the 12 fan view more than anything, there goes that Baldwin kid again. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be clutch playing, third down pickups. He'll do it all. I mean, the kid's got drive. The kid, he clearly wants to play the game. He knows he's good enough. He has taken the criticism on and used it and channeled it. And what a fantastic signing for us as Seahawks. Just incredible.
Absolutely. Will, your thoughts on the signing?
Well, I was thinking, first reaction was only 3 years. I want him for longer. But thinking about with Baldwin and then also with Thomas and Sherman, signing, comparatively short deals, it's kind of surprising at first, but it makes more sense when you think about it because they get their money, the team gets a bit of security, but they're not locked up for ages and ages and ages. I mean, they're still going to be comparatively young when they have the chance for a new contract. So I think that's, these are very self-motivated people anyway, but I think it's another facet of Carroll's always compete philosophy. That, okay, you got your big contract. You keep working, you'll get another big contract before too much longer. And you see the contrast down in San Francisco. I mean, Vernon Davis has 2 years left on his 6-year deal, and he wants more money, and he's not going to get it because they have other guys to spend it on.
Right.
So I really like the approach the team is taking here.
Sorry, Dennis, just to echo exactly what Will just said. The ability to be able to say, it is about competition. So also from the team's point of view, in those 3 years, we're going to have 3 more lots of draft picks, 3 more lots of rookies are coming through. They're going to compete against you ever-growing older guys that we've got on the team at the moment. And you have the ability to mix and match and change when you need to, if you need to. So from a team point of view, it's fantastic. From a player point of view, as you've just said, it's fantastic. So it's a win-win. Long contracts, you get injuries involved in there as well. If Vernon Davis has been injured, that's a long time to hold on to somebody.
It is. To me, Baldwin, and there are a lot of candidates for this position, but for me, Baldwin typifies this entire team. A kid that was undrafted that supposedly wasn't the ideal measurables for his position, so he was overlooked by everybody. He comes in, he does what's asked of him. He asks to do more. He gives 100%. And wants to give more. I mean, he just wants to give and give and give to this team to make it successful. I'll return punts. I'll be the gunner. I'll, whatever I need to do to make this team. His rookie year, I can remember, my son watched I think it was the Rams game where he returned that kickoff on the reverse, and then he caught the long pass and he blocked the punt and he did all that, in one game. But at the time he was a rookie, just trying to make the team. And I think he typifies this entire team. A bunch of guys that, for the most part, were overlooked by everybody. They don't have the measurables you like at their position, but he's got an completely unbelievable heart and determination. and he wants to be successful. He's very personable. He's just, to me, he's the whole package. And then you talk about his play and how clutch he is on third down.
I think that comes back down to Pete Carroll and John Schneider, because what they do is they install self-belief into these players. That these players believe they are the best. Richard Sherman clearly believes, and he is the best.
Yes.
And what he does, and they install that mentality into these players. And then, if you have that sort of internal drive, if you have that internal self-belief, you can achieve anything. Do you know what I mean? You can win multiple Super Bowls over and over again. It's just incredible what they do there.
And
of course, with signing Baldwin, you have the inevitable comparison with the receiver who left this year with Golden Tate. And, I don't want to bash Tate. I don't want to get into the whole, I'm glad he's gone or anything like that. But, with Tate, he kind of got a feeling with his comments afterwards that he felt that he had deserved, he said flat out he felt he deserved more than the team gave him. With Baldwin, it's more of, I'm going to work as hard as I can. And if it doesn't work here, it'll go somewhere else. But I'm not going to sit around and worry about what I'm entitled to.
Exactly. And like Matt said, he went to OTAs. He wasn't worried about what was going to happen. What's going to happen is going to happen. He'll deal with it when it happens. He was always confident that they would do the right thing, and they did. To me, just another wonderful signing. I couldn't be happier. Another great signing happened today, according to SportsIllustrated.com. Richard Sherman has signed an endorsement deal to be part of the Campbell Chunky Soup Mama Boy campaign. A lot of people know Mama Sherman. Yeah, a lot of people know Bev Sherman as the 12th. What do they call her? The 12th Mama or something.
12th Mom?
12th Mom, I think.
I think it's just Mama Sherman, really.
Mama Sherman. Yeah, everyone calls her Mama Sherman. That whole family is very personable. They're a great addition to the community of Seattle and to the Seahawks. And now they're apparently going to shooting begin in Los Angeles this weekend for a Chunky Soup commercial. Ironically, this same day today that this was announced, Colin Kaepernick was seen signing a box of ramen noodles. So, congratulations, Colin Kaepernick, on your box of ramen noodles. Richard Sherman is going to be on the front of Chunky Soup, I guess.
Moses?
Yes.
Actually, it was also not a good day for Colin Kaepernick in another way, too. You seeing as how Richard Sherman officially beat him out in the semifinals for the cover of Madden 15.
Exactly.
So,
again.
Kaepernick's just having a rough day all around.
Yeah,
what a shame.
Colin got beat again by Richard Sherman. You're right, exactly, on the Madden cover. Now, we're going to put up, as soon as I find the link, and I'll find the link as I put this video up, of how to vote for Richard Sherman. We here at the 12th Man Fan Jam want you to exercise your right as a Seahawk fan, not necessarily an American because we have fans from around the world, but your right as a Seahawk fan to go vote for Richard Sherman to be on the cover of the new Madden. Does this bother anybody? Matt, are you worried about this Madden curse thing?
Oh no, but no, not at all. No. But I understand people get superstitious. Look, I'm a football supporter. If you're a sports supporter, you often have little superstitions. Whether it be, for example, when I go to a game, I always make sure that I have the right jersey on in terms of the colours and stuff. So in the UK, when I go to the UK and I watch a game, I make sure that if it's a home game, I'm wearing a home jersey, and I would feel very uncomfortable. And to give you a good example, the Super Bowl one, I actually originally took my home jersey and had to swap it over because I suddenly realised we're actually the away team. So yeah, there are superstitions out there. Madden cover notwithstanding, that's just hype for more sales of Madden. That's all that is.
Well, see, I do the same thing, but now I don't call it a superstition because I call them traditions, because I don't feel like if I wear the same jersey because I want to. I don't feel like it's going to have any bearing on a win or a loss.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Good gracious, no.
But I like doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would feel uncomfortable if I was sitting there with the wrong jersey on. That's
yes, but I wouldn't feel like, oh my God,
it's only weird if it doesn't work.
That's true.
That's the saying.
You know, when you made a bucket list, and I think we all did, when the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the one thing I always said I was going to do is buy the Madden the year that the Seahawks win the Super Bowl. And I sure as heck don't want to buy a Madden with a picture of Cam Newton on the front. So let's go ahead. It was obviously the Seahawks year from beginning to end. Let's put Richard Sherman on the cover, and this team has broken a lot of traditions. Let's just break another one, and let's break this stupid curse, and let's move on with playing football and having Sherman on the cover of Madden where he belongs.
Yeah,
And I'm hoping that if he does win, I'm hoping that EA Sports will do what he wants and put the whole Legion of Boom on the cover, which would be pretty sweet.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Something else that's awesome is the final story here in the second quarter. And it's not necessarily a Seahawk story, but it is because it involves a former Seahawk. Apparently, our old friend Charlie Clipboard Jesus Whitehurst, the man with the perfect hair, is now in the Tennessee Titans, and he's a backup with them now. And he apparently wanted to wear his number 6, which he's worn for 13 years. So the punter for the Titans, the punter, that's the guy that kicks the ball, right? And just to review real quick, the quarterback has to have a strong arm, and the punter has to have a strong leg. Okay, that's important to this story. Charlie goes to the punter and says, I want my old number back, and I guess the punter said, I'll give it to you for $20,000, which is a lot of money for Charlie. So he said, how about if I just arm wrestle you for it? So here's a quarterback in the NFL arm wrestling a punter, and the punter beat the quarterback in arm wrestling. That'd be like the quarterback beating the punter in, leg wrestling. I don't know. So tonight, for your enjoyment, the posse and I have come up with some headlines and punchlines. Yes, headlines and punchlines. Tonight's big article headline is this: Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest. Are we ready? I will start, and then I will... Now, guys, you want me to read it for you so that you can say your punchline? Will that help?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I will start, and then we'll go to Will, and then we'll go to Matt, and we'll go round robin. Here we go. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest, but his hair was perfect.
Nice.
All right, Will. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
Threatens to mollywop Brett Kern if he doesn't agree to rematch.
You mollywoppers. You might knew. I tell you what, I've been the punt monkeys forever in football, but I might be the mollywoppers this year. I'm not sure. All right, Matt, you got one?
Yep.
All right. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
It says he would have won had he have used his pimp hand.
Beautiful. Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest. Equipment manager also took his lunch money.
To be Whitehurst.
Yeah, hurts to be him. Okay, you got another one, Will?
Yeah, I've got a few more, actually.
Oh,
I've
good.
got some more.
Oh, good. Okay. Will, Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
But signs on to play the lead in a sequel to Sylvester Stallone's 1987 arm wrestling movie classic Over the Top.
With the soundtrack by Sammy Hagar. Great song by Sammy
But
Hagar.
of
What was that song? Does anybody remember? I need to find that.
I don't remember the specific song.
Oh my God, that was awesome. That song from Sammy Hagar over the top. I'm going to look that up. All right. Okay, you ready, Matthew?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
All right. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
Proof positive that holding a clipboard for your entire career is not a good training aim for arm wrestling.
Very true.
Okay. One more round. Here we go. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest. Punter feels bad and gives Whitehurst a case of Aquanet. You know it's about the hair. All right.
Of course.
All right. Here you go, Will. Last one. Make it count. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
The Republic still stands.
I catch that. That was the thing about the Kim and Kanye West marriage. That's very good.
Yep.
All right.
I got one. I got the last one then.
This last one. Hit us hard. Here we go. Charlie Whitehurst loses jersey number to punter in arm wrestling contest.
And once again gets to wear a big old 12 on his back whilst he stands on the sidelines doing nothing.
Yep,
That's
number 12 in Tennessee.
You know,
he is number 12.
It's a good gig, isn't it? I mean, you know, it is a good gig.
Why do teams keep giving this guy millions of dollars? I don't understand it.
I don't either.
Nope.
Oh, by the way, if you're wondering, the song from Sammy Hagar in that over-the-top wrestling movie, which was a movie Sylvester Stallone made about arm wrestling, was Winner Takes It All.
How did I know you'd find it?
There it is. Oh my God, Sammy, why? Why, Sammy? Why, buddy?
Hey, you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
Wow, you can't get more 80s than that. That was 80s right
I
there.
was just gonna say that screams 80s.
That's
right
funky.
there.
That's got shoulder pads.
That's the 80s. That's woo. All right.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
Well, we've reached the end of the second quarter, and we're going to take our much anticipated third straight trivia challenge, Seahawk Trivia Challenge, to see if finally Will finally unseat the
Yes, he will.
two-time defending champion, Matt from England. So we're going to take a station identification.
Signs point to no.
We'll take a station identification. We'll come right back. Remember, you can play along as well to our halftime Seahawk trivia game.
Hey, this is Matt, all the way from merry old England, and you're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam.
Yes, welcome once again to halftime of the 12th Man Fan Jam. And it's time for another rousing rendition of Seahawk Trivia. I'm your host, the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity. And as usual, the two challengers will be once again facing off to check their knowledge in Seahawk Trivia for fabulous prizes chosen especially for them. Our first contestant is two-time challenger, zero-time winner, all the way from the lovely state of Washington. His favorite hobbies are picking up ripped-up toilet paper from his cat. Please welcome Will.
Hey! Nobody else was cheering. I had to do somebody
else
had
go
to.
on. Wait a minute. Please welcome Will.
Yay!
Hey!
There you go.
See,
Wake
the
up,
kids love me.
The damn kids, they're
Kids
so
love me.
tired. It's been a long school year for them. They're just out. So they're having to recoup. Okay. And of course, our two-time challenge champion. Our two-time trivia
Challenge champion.
challenge champion,
true,
our trivia
man.
champion. The kids have got me flustered. They want more.
Really?
They want more sugar. I can't give it to them. The two-time defending trivia champion of the 12th Man Fan Jam from merry old England.
England.
He guessed where George Clinton went to school last time and was right. He
That-
will
that one all I
mollywop your
guessed.
ass. He's Matt.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. You guys know how it's played. For those of you who are playing at home, this is how we do this. We're going to go 4 rounds, a question apiece. They're going to have a question, and they're going to have 3 choices. And they have to pick one of the choices for their answer. And they get a point apiece. And then we have, for 2 points, we have a special bonus for 2 points. And then we have a tiebreaker if we need it. I don't know. It's going to be very exciting. Are you gentlemen ready to play?
Came down to the wall.
Rules are
Sounds good.
simple. First off, absolutely no Googling from any of you. No Googling, no getting on your smartphones or anything like that. Number 2, do not call anybody, especially Matt, because it's like 4 in the morning where you are. And finally, please, if you're paying attention there at home, no wagering. This is all done in fun. All right?
Entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes. Matt is our defending champion, our defending 2-time champion, so he gets to decide whether or not he will answer the first question or he will leave that to Will. Do you want to answer first, Matt, or do you want to pass?
I'll pass, please, Dennis.
Oh, so Will gets to start every round. Okay. Yeah. Will, I have
Throw me out there with no training.
That's the one.
And we begin. Will, I have 8 questions, 1 through 8. Give me a number.
In honor of Charlie Whitehurst, I will pick number 6.
Number 6, okay. Okay, Will. Your question is about the playoffs. The Seahawks
Playoffs?
I'm talking about playoffs. Oh, Delusion gets mollywomped, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Will. The Seahawks have won more playoff games against what team? The Saints, the Redskins, or the Raiders? And guess what, Will? Guess what, Will?
I was just going to ask where the music was.
She's back, baby.
Clearlander?
Okay, so it was choices again? What were they?
The Saints, the Redskins, or the Raiders? The Seahawks have won more playoff games against which team?
I'm going to go Redskins.
Okay, Redskins.
Oh, excuse me. The Potomac Drainage Basin Indigenous Persons.
Absolutely. I was going to say, you can't call them that.
He says the what used to be known as the Redskins. He's right. It's the Redskins.
Yeah. Yay!
The
well done,
Seahawks are 3-0 against the Redskins, 2-0 against the Saints, and 1-1 against the Raiders. And Will starts off strong with a correct answer. So now,
woohoo,
champ.
I would have got that wrong though, so well, I'm pleased. Carry on.
1 through 8.
His first name Russell, last name Wilson. Go for 3.
Okay.
Channeling them.
This is, you know, you realize this is not American Idol.
Oh, this isn't going to help anyway. Go on then.
Okay, all right, here we go.
What are you doing, Simon Cowell, anyway?
How many seasons? How many seasons in the NFL have the Seahawks been 500 or better record-wise at the end of the regular season? How many seasons have the Seahawks been 500 or better? So if they were 500, that counts.
Yeah.
Is it 17, 19, or 21? How many seasons have the Seahawks been 500 or better?
Ooh.
17, 19, or 21?
It's not helping. I'll go 19. I'll go in the middle. I'll go 19. That's a guess, but I'm going to guess it.
He went 19, and the answer... 21!
21.
21.
It wasn't 17. Oh, balls.
Oh, he's in the hole to start. And that is exactly what she said. All right.
Oh, dear.
We go to round 2.
Oh, shit.
Will, now between 1 and 8, please.
Okay. Let's go with number 5.
Number 5. All right. You know, the Seahawks and the Buccaneers are kind of linked together in history because they started at the same time. They both came into the league in the same year. So what I wanted to know is they've played each other 12 times. How many of the 12 games have the Seahawks beat the Buccaneers? Is it 6 times, 7 times, or 8 times out of 12? How many times out of 12 have the Seahawks beat the Buccaneers? 6, 7, or 8?
Seems to me we've done pretty well against them historically. I'm going to go with 8.
He's going with 8. pretty well historically, he says. Will. You're right.
Oh.
It's 8.
Yay! Man's on fire.
And the kids love it.
Ah, I'm on fire! I'm on fire! Help! Help!
Oh, 2-0. Will's out with a vengeance tonight. All right.
He is.
Matt, you need a good one between 1 and 8.
2.
2 is available. Okay. Matt, your question is this.
How many steps were there in the kingdom? No, carry on.
George Clinton performed... All right. What is the Seahawks' overall playoff record? Is it? Are they 3 games under 500? Are they exactly at 500? Or are they 3 games over 500? Seahawk overall playoff record. 3 games under 500, exactly at 500, or 3 games over 500?
3 games under 500.
3 games under 500. And the answer is... I'm sorry, they're 12 and 12, ironically.
12. Yeah, they are.
They're 12 and 12, ironically, as a playoff team.
More 12s.
Yeah, that lucky number 12.
Will's feeling good here. Will, I have 1.
Hey, he came back and won last week, so
That's
I'm
true.
not getting cocky.
1, 4, 7, or 8.
I'll go with 4.
Go with 4. All right. Will, Matt, you kind of need him to screw up here. I don't know what you can do, but I'll play the organ for you.
I just need his internet connection to fail.
We need more organ. It's almost like more cowbell. All right. Okay, your question.
Give me more organ.
Yikes.
Thank you for that,
Did
Matt.
you just ask for more organ?
Always.
Oh my God. Okay, she just walked out. Come back. All right. I'm sorry.
Can you blame her?
No.
Play that funky
How many
music, white boy.
seasons? How many seasons have the Seahawks lost 10 games or more? How many seasons have the Seahawks lost 10 games or more? 7,
Too
9,
damn
or
many.
10? Yeah, too many. 7, 9, or 10. How many seasons have the Seahawks lost 10 or more games? 7, 9, or 10?
7, 9, or 10. Let's see.
More organ.
I still
Pump it up.
I still maintain too many.
Pump it up.
I'm gonna think 10 here. I'll go with 10.
He's going to think 10. The answer is 9.
I was going back and forth 9 or 10, and it's like, oh, whatever.
All right. Well, Matt, you know what they always
I
say.
try to block out the memories of those years.
There's a hole. You need to stick it in there. All right, here we go.
Go on then.
1, 7, or 8.
Oh. Go on then, Travaris Jackson. 7.
7.
All in the backup. We need him.
Okay. Your question is this.
Mm.
The Seahawks have scored the most points against which team? The most points in the history of Seahawk football. They scored the most points. Would it be against the Raiders, the Chargers, or the Broncos? Most points. They've scored the most points against the Broncos, he says. And the answer is...
Oh,
the Raiders!
Was it really?
The Raiders.
I would have guessed Chargers. Wow.
Raiders 1,078, Chargers 1,028, Broncos 1,011.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So
Can't be beaten. Can't be
nope.
beaten. Well,
Last round, Will,
Crazy.
1 or 8?
Dude, I'm number 1.
You're number 1. Do you have a hat that says that? Because if you wore a hat that said you were number 1, I would totally believe it.
Afraid not, sorry.
All right. Well, that's too bad. Here's your question. What is the overall regular season record of the Seattle Seahawks? Are they officially 10 games under 500? Are they 5 games under 500? Or are they 10 games over 500? Overall record of the Seahawks: 10 games under 500, 5 games under 500, or 10 games over 500.
Can't I just guess where George Clinton went to college?
Where'd George Clinton go to college?
Middle Tennessee State.
You got it!
Yay!
Woo!
Well
Yeah.
done, you.
The kids love it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, as for the question in hand, I'm going to say 5 games under 500.
He says 5 games under 500. 5 games under 500. Will. They're 10 games under 500. 10 games under 500. They're officially 293 and 303. All right.
Wow.
That was close.
Matt, you got this one, but you also have the 2-point tiebreaker next, and that's going to be one where you get to actually kind of bid. We'll explain here in a minute.
What's the score, by the way?
It's
2-0.
2-0. Will's leading 2-0.
We're burning it up tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
These are tough questions.
8, please, Dennis.
Yes, 8 it is. And here's where we get number 8. The Seahawks have given up the most points in their history against what team? The Raiders, the Chargers, or the Broncos? Seahawks have given up most points against which team? Raiders, Chargers, or Broncos?
Dolphins.
Chargers.
He says Chargers. And the answer is... Oh, I'm sorry, it's the Broncos.
Oh, balls.
Yeah, Raiders 11-50, Chargers 10-12, Broncos 12-22.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Dang.
All right, so here's your first. This is a 2-pointer, so whoever gets it is winner take all. Yeah, I need a number for the closest one without going over. Okay?
Oh, Price is right. I'm ready. Go on then.
And Will gets to go first with his guess because he's leading. Here we go.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have won more games against the Chargers than any other team in the NFL. How many games have the Seahawks beaten the Chargers? Will, what is your guess? How many games do you think they've beaten the Chargers?
Oh, dear. Shoot. Blackjack, 21.
He says 21. What do you got, Matt?
Well, I'm thinking because I'm trying to think of the times when I can remember when we played them. Oh, can somebody shoot that bloody woman?
Shut up! Okay, got her.
Good. Trying to think now. How many times do you think we've played them? He went blackjack. I'm gonna be sneaky. I'm gonna say 20. 20.
20?
2020?
21-20.
Perfect vision.
The correct answer is 26, which means Will gets 2 points, which means Will finally has dethroned the champion in a wonderful, wonderful game of Seahawk Trivia. We have
I'd
a
like
new
to thank
champion.
the Academy
And,
and all my fans.
the Academy would like to thank you, Will. Wow. Another action-packed, fun game of Seahawk Trivia right here on 12th Man Fan Jam. Congratulations to Will. Matt, you're in England, so you have an excuse. But we're going to send you a version of the home game, which is basically the address to Wikipedia for your web browser. Thanks everyone for playing. I hope you played along and had fun. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this brief station identification.
You're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
So we can't talk about the Seahawks without talking about the 12th man. And, last season, the 12 set a record not once, but twice for the loudest crowd noise in history. Now, history is a long time, so that's really loud. So loud on multiple occasions, they've actually created minor earthquakes, which is disturbing, and you should think about that.
Welcome to the third quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. So once again, let us join our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you again, Magic Voice, the 12th Man Fan Jam. We hope you've enjoyed the halftime show there, where if you're just joining us, and I don't know why you would go halfway into a podcast and not listen to halftime, but if you did that, you missed Will upsetting Matt and dethroning the chair. Well, he dethroned you.
To be honest, can I just say my own chair has dethroned me 14 times tonight. So,
you know, we've
it's just that kind of night.
I want to explain that because we do this obviously around the world, and we've got this little message thing that we kind of, hey, don't forget to mention this or whatever. We kind of talk to each other during the show, and I look down, and the message I see from Matt in the first quarter is, and I'm going to say it with the profanity, this fucking chair is going up and down like it's possessed. I'm going to need a priest and some holy water soon to beat the demons out of it. And I almost fell out of my chair laughing.
I don't know what's wrong with it. The gas has gone in the cylinder, so suddenly, without any warning whatsoever, I just hit the deck.
So on top of everything... So on top of everything else, your chair sucks tonight, too.
My trivia sucks, my chair sucks, everything is just shit, to be honest.
Well, hopefully...
And it's not your night, my friend.
And it's 4 a.m. What could possibly go wrong there?
It's 4 a.m. Hey.
We'll probably find out.
Well, now we're going to find out because we're going to play the third and fourth quarter. We're going to play a deluxe version of a little thing we like to call There Can Be Only One.
There can be only one.
Oh my.
Yes, there can be only one player. What we decided to do this week, as I told the posse, to think of a player that is playing today and a former NFL player on the offense and on the defense. If you could add one person to this amazing Seahawk team, and we certainly don't want to step on any toes. We love all the guys on this team, but if you could add one guy, who would you add? Just one guy on offense. And so we're going to start on offense in the third quarter, and we're going to start with Will. Will, if you could add one guy from any NFL roster onto the Seahawks, who would you add and why?
Well, I was actually tempted to say Darren Sproles, just because when he was with San Diego and we played them every preseason, I'd just be like, man, that kid is fast. But in the interest of making a good team even better, I am going to go with Eagles guard Evan Mathis.
Oh, went with the guard. Very nice. And why?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, our offensive line is an issue until proven it's okay. Mathis, I mean, the guy has completely outplayed his contract. I think he was a Pro Bowler. Just a very, very good interior lineman, and it'd be great. It'd be great to have him on this line. I think that would really shore up the guard position for us.
Yeah, that's a very nice choice. Matt, the former trivia champion of the 12-Man Fan Jam, who would you pick on offense?
From current times, anywhere around, for offense, I'd pick Golden Tate from the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
Just
I know
because
that guy.
I was still annoyed the fact that we lost him in some respects. I suppose I'm still more annoyed in the manner of his leaving, but I think the consistency would be there. I just, for a perfect off-season for us would have been to maintain all of those sort of key players if at all possible, but obviously it wasn't. But if I could pick, I would have him back.
Okay.
I think he's going to do very well at the Lions, so...
That's
as long as he doesn't hang out with the mother of Calvin Johnson's child.
Well, because she will mollywop him.
Oh God. Oh man, you guys are mollywopping. We mollywopped all night. What a mollywopping episode. This should be the mollywop edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. But I don't think I'll do that. Well, I had a couple guys.
Back.
Yeah, we have a couple guys, and ironically, oh no, I'm looking at my list right now, and I'm thinking, why did I put this guy number one after what we've been talking about? But okay. Oh my God. My guy is Calvin Johnson, okay? I say it.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
My guy
Lordy.
is Calvin Johnson. Yes, thank you. Oh, but no, seriously, as a football player, you get that guy with Harvin and with the speed we have at receiver, and you get a huge target like that. I think it would be amazing. I think it would be an amazing help to the offense. He'd be amazing help to any offense. Who else did you have on your list, Will, that you thought also? Maybe you had a couple guys maybe you didn't talk about.
Are we still on offense, or are we going to defense?
Yeah, offense. Now? Offense. Well, as far as offensive players that are in the NFL right now.
Well, like I said, I always enjoyed watching Darren Sproles play when he wasn't playing against us. And, I think Kristen Michael will more or less fill that role, but Sproles, especially in the prime of his career, was just so fast. And it's like, who cares if he's 5'0" nothing? Nobody can catch him.
Right. Very true. Matt, did you have anybody else?
What's the left tackle out of Minnesota? What's his name? Khalil. I like watching him. Yeah, I like watching him. So, but nothing. I mean, again, I have to say it was quite difficult. I mean, I know it's our offensive line that we want to put work on, but I honestly sat there and looked at things. I thought, okay, Golden Tate I'd like to have kept, but all in all, I think we're in reasonably good shape. I mean, apparently Carpenter.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love it. I think we've got what we need.
I do too. I like the idea of Devin Hester being on this team, and I didn't know where to put him. That would have been a neat pick. Jason Witten too, an amazing. We have a great tight end too, but Jason Witten just amazing. Now let's go to the other side, and we'll start with Matt. And what we're looking for now is an offensive player a former NFL player. So you've got a lot of them to pick. And so if you need some thinking music.
No, I don't. Ooh.
Sammy Hagar from Over the Top. Winner Takes It All, a very 80s song. If this helps you think, Eddie.
When did you play this when I won the trivia?
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly what you need. Okay, Winner Takes It All, ironically.
I'm going to go earlier than the 80s. I'm going earlier than the 80s for mine.
Okay,
earlier.
Good.
I'm going to take you to the 70s. I'm going to take you to the Raiders. I'm going to take you to a Hall of Famer from Notre Dame with 300, let me get this right, it was 378 receptions, 5,216 yards, 52 touchdowns. It's the ghost. It's the tight end Dave Casper is who I would bring in, because I am not happy with tight ends on our team. As I keep saying, and I've said it every week. But yeah, so that's who I would bring in.
So you got Casper the Friendly Ghost is what you did.
Oh yeah, that's what I've got there.
All right. Well.
Holy roll.
So you got this.
How many of those sound files do you actually have?
Everybody. Okay.
Just don't say anything, Will, because in a minute he'll accidentally press the wrong button and the theme to Deep Throat will suddenly come on for no reason.
I keep the porn music handy. Okay. Will, you have a former NFL player that you would like to have on this offense?
Yes, I do. And
does he have a clever theme song I can pick up somewhere?
Well, he doesn't. His team kind of did for a while. I'm going to stay in the 70s. Bit redundant at the moment, but a replacement for Marshawn Lynch down the line, assuming we could go back in time and get him in the prime of his career. Talking about Earl Campbell.
Oh, that was one I thought about. Earl Campbell on this team. Could you imagine? Earl Campbell and Marshawn. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, both of those guys at the same time. You'd have defenses waving the white flag here.
No doubt. First and goal at the 1, you have a backfield with Marshawn Lynch and Earl Campbell. Oh, my God.
Well, I loved how Campbell ran. I just loved how he bowled over everybody, overpowered everybody. It's just, he was Marshawn Lynch before Marshawn Lynch was Marshawn Lynch.
He sure was. And kind of a sad story now if you've seen him. But, yeah, what an amazing runner he was. I went obvious here. I mean, I think a receiver would be quite helpful. Even then, again, I think we have great receivers. I hate doing this because you makes it sound like, well, you think our receivers suck. No, not at all. But if you can add Jerry Rice to your team, I mean, wow. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Jerry Rice.
You still can't wear number 80.
Right. Okay, I'm all right with that. I'm not talking about Jerry Rice that was with the Seahawks. I'm talking about the guy in the heyday with the Niners back in the 90s. A couple other guys I had, and then I'll ask you guys. Tony Gonzalez, tight end. and why not Anthony Munoz? Anthony Munoz, left tackle. I had Walter Jones, but I'm not going to count that because he was a Seahawk. But
he's a Seahawk.
Is a Seahawk. But Anthony Munoz was maybe the best left tackle before Walter Jones showed up in the history of football from the Bengals. An amazing left tackle. Did you, Will? Did you have anybody else from the past?
I did actually. I went back even farther than the swinging 70s. How about Raymond Berry, wide receiver for the Colts, played in the greatest game ever. You read up about Berry and Unitas and how they worked, and it's basically what we've got now. I mean, those guys would come in early and then stay late after practice and just work and work and work until they knew exactly what the other one was doing.
Good
and
stuff.
I think it'd be fun to have another guy like that on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Matt, did you have anybody else former NFL player?
I went back to the 90s with my last one really, which was Marvin Harrison from the Colts. To take what was he, an 8-time Pro Bowler? Just incredible stats there. I think it's over 1,100 catches, 14,580 yards, 128 touchdowns. I'd have a little bit of that. That'd be fine.
Yeah, it's funny because you'd watch him and go, how did he get so open all the time? Don't they know they need to guard Marvin Harrison? And you start realizing, well, they are. They're trying to.
They are.
That's the problem. But he always looked like he was 20 feet ahead of everybody else.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
And that's the end of the third quarter. We did the offense for the third quarter. We're going to take a brief station identification and come back. And we're going to do the same thing for this unbelievable defense. Who should we add if we had the chance? If there can only be one, who will it be? We'll be right back with that answer.
You're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
And I do know that you have access to some of the great special force units anywhere, and you can do whatever you need to do. But I want you to know that just a phone call away is the boom.
The boom is here. In case we need for some sort of special mission. You never know.
That's right. You never know. You never know. They will be just a phone call away.
And now it's time for the fourth quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. Here to lead us through the final quarter is once again our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Magic Voice, the 12th Man Fan Jam, and please stop mollywopping. We are starting the fourth quarter of this edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. We're so happy that you're here, and we're happy that you're listening to our show. We've been talking about there can be only one in the second half, and we're taking a player from the past and the present and saying if we could plug them into this team on offense or defense, what would that look like? And so we're going to start with Matt here in the fourth quarter, and the two-time defending champ who went down in trivia tonight will get his crack at the defense. Matt, here's how it is. You get any player from any NFL roster you can add to our defense. Who would it be and why?
I'm not touching the secondary in my pick because I think our secondary is the best in the NFL bar none, so it would be silly to try and put anyone else in there, really. I'm going to go to the Houston Texans. I'm going to go to number 99. I'm going to take J.J. Watt.
Amazing.
I always remember I watched the Detroit Lions game that he had in 2012, I think it was, where he broke the franchise record. And I think it was like 20 sacks or something, or 21 sacks or something like that. And it was just an amazing game. And he's also a really nice bloke as well, by all accounts. So to get somebody who's incredibly good, really does all the charity work, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I want him on the team. I'd have him in a second. So for me, JJ Watt, I think he brings more than just an athletic sportsmanship. He also brings leadership with him too.
I think that's a wonderful pick. That guy is amazing. Like you said, he's a great guy too, but he's just amazing. You know, a guy that would fit in perfectly with this team as far as the toughness, as far as the personality, and as far as the nonstop motor. There's no question about that. Will, who do you have?
Give me a second to scratch the first name off my list here.
As did I. I had Y on my first list. Yes.
Well, I'm going to stay on the defensive line, and I'm actually going to poach somebody from our own division. How about defensive end Robert Quinn?
Very nice.
I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, the guy is just damn good.
Yes.
I mean, he's always given us fits. He had, 19 sacks last year, the young up-and-coming guy. We may not have even seen his best yet. So,
I know.
mean, you can never have too many pass rushers, and it would just be fun to add that guy into the mix here.
Well, allow me to cross my second name off of my list because that was my second.
Sorry, Dennis.
That's a good pick as well. Both of you did real well. That's what I had defensive line, but my third guy that I had out wasn't a defensive lineman, and I picked him because of his versatility. Playing defensive back, but also as a dangerous returner. Looking for somebody who can give us a little extra. And this is a guy that's not very popular right now in Seattle, but Patrick Peterson is indeed a talent and is indeed a very talented young man. I would not mind having Patrick Peterson to return punts, to play a little bit of decoy on the offense, but also to play, either alongside Sherman or, in a nickel. I'm sure he'd be the starter over Maxwell. But I think Patrick Peterson is an amazing talent, and that was my guy, was Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Who else did you guys see on other rosters that you kind of salivated about on defense?
I had middle linebacker, Carolina Panthers. I had Luke Kuechly because he was originally the person I thought we were going to draft in that year, and obviously we didn't.
Right.
It all changed quite dramatically when it was Bruce Irvin or someone. So so I had Luke Kuechly down.
Very good. Will, do you have anybody?
Scratches yet another name off my list. Yeah, I like Kuechly too. The only problem is I like Bobby Wagner.
Exactly.
It's kind of
you're right.
It's harder to find people playing today that you want on our defense because our defense is already so good.
Yes.
And so deep at pretty much every position.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I didn't have any. You guys took all mine. Let's start with Matt on the former. Now we're going to take a former NFL player on defense and add him to this defense. Who would you add?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go to the Giants. I'm going to go to Defensive Player of the Year for 2001. I'm going to go for Michael Strahan.
Nice.
I think again another nice chap. Almost certainly going to be a Hall of Famer when he's eligible. I think he was a 6 or 7-time Pro Bowler, and he was obviously. I just think a phenomenal player. So for me, I think he would add again a right caliber of person to our line.
Yeah, and anything to getting away for Kelly Ripa would be good. That chick, can I just say, Kelly Ripa, I used to really think was beautiful. But now, to me, she's almost frighteningly skinny. Like, I don't think there's like no body fat on her at all. And I
kind of desiccated almost.
Yeah, Kelly, get a sandwich, hon. Will, if you could have a player from the past on this defense, who would you take?
Well, I nearly lost it when Matt started talking about the Giants because I thought you're going to steal my pick yet again, but no, I'm actually going back a little further to another Defensive Player of the Year and another Hall of Famer. How about Lawrence Taylor?
Yep.
Taylor, yeah.
Yep.
10-time Pro Bowler, yeah.
Can you imagine Taylor in our linebacking core just coming off the edge the way he did?
He's got a 142 sack record. I mean, that's just incredible.
And in theory, if we had him on this team, it'd be somebody from Irvin to learn from too. How great would that be?
Yeah, totally.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be awesome. And I will strike both those names off my list. Thank you both very much.
Anytime.
Yeah. So I only have really one guy left. And, of course, you could pick anybody. I went middle linebacker again. I hate to because of Bobby Wagner. But when you have Richard Sherman and you have Earl Thomas and you have these emotional leaders on this team, but if you threw Ray Lewis into that,
Yeah.
I mean, this team would be unbelievable, not only on the field as playing, but just the leadership on this team would be absolutely off the charts. It already really is with all the
Very
great guys
true.
on defense, but you put Ray Lewis in the center of that defense, and I love Bobby Wagner's play, and again, don't get me wrong, but if you could put Ray Lewis in there, I think that would be unbelievable. Who else Matt, did you have any other former players?
The only other player I had that I sort of put down as a possible, we're going back to the 80s, that fit for your music, was William Perry, or Fred, because I love that dude.
There you go, little Sammy Hagar.
29 sacks. 29 sacks. Great name. Loved it.
I just want to say, if you've never seen the Sammy Hagar video for Over the Top, for Winner Take All, he's barefooted, and he's like playing his guitar, and there's like a wind machine somewhere blowing his hair, right? I mean, you can't get more 80s than this.
Video you've ever seen.
Oh my God, you can't get more 80s than this.
And just on Perry, just one last thing. He was also the player that I first saw in person when he was playing for the London Monarchs at the time, and I saw him in London. So yeah, so William Perry, that would be the
very cool, very cool. Will?
Had a couple guys thinking about sticking with the pass rushers. Deacon Jones would always be a welcome addition. The man who invented the term sack. But
absolutely.
I got to thinking, we've got the Legion of Boom. It's the best secondary in the league. But how about you take that cornerback spot opposite Richard Sherman and plug in Deion Sanders in his prime?
Oh, my goodness. And then the punt return
Not only
as well.
do we get a killer return man, but people would not be able to throw against us.
Wow. And in my opinion, to this day, Deion Sanders, best defensive back I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. That's some good stuff there. Well, fellas, it has been so much fun talking Seahawk football with you this evening. But I believe the time on the clock is once again telling us that it is time to put this show to rest for another couple weeks. And what a fun show it has been. Hasn't it been fun? It's been fun. It's been informational. And it's been a learning experience, I think, for all of us in so many remarkable ways. And what exactly have we learned this evening? Well, we've learned that we have a pimp hand. I didn't know.
Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
It is. We learned that mollywopping is bad for your ass. We learned Matt's chair is possessed. And finally, we learned that Charlie Whitehurst will never star in the remake of the classic 80s arm wrestling film Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. So, for our newshound Will, for my partner in crime Matt, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, thanking you all so very much for joining us this week, and thank you for making us part of your off-season Seahawk tradition. And we look forward to helping you waste over an hour or so of your life the very next time we get together to talk a little Seahawk football. Be looking for some of those best of 12th man fan jams. Vote for Richard Sherman to get the cover of Madden. And go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.